What's your last name?
Spencer.
That's easy. You know somebody named Kathy
That's his mom.
from Atlanta? There's a fly ball hit out into right field. Coming on is the right fielder, and the ball drops in front of him. It'll be at least a single. They throw in the second. It's a double. Paulina Benham, the batter.
Let's go!
Good afternoon. We welcome you back to Sunset Park here in Las Vegas. On a Sunday afternoon, we have advanced into the D Division for our games for the rest of the afternoon here on the Cloud Sports Network. And right now, the Arizona Serpents have a runner at first base. There are two out in the inning. Two runners on base. There are two out in the inning. And the score is right now 0-0. And this is the top of the first. My name is Rich Siegel. We'll get caught up here in just a moment. And this is Dr. Joel Tremblay to my right. So you've been paying a little closer attention to what's going on while we were getting set up.
So I believe what we have on the plate is the number 5 batter, Canasales, and we had Michael Donovan get a hit to start the game and has come around to score. And there was an out made 6-3 at first, and then you have the two runners on. So it is 1-0 in favor of the Serpents here in the top of the first.
We are in Las Vegas for the site of the 2024 Cincinnati Classic. We've been here since Friday. We had a few C Division games earlier this morning, and now we are in the D Division for the rest of the afternoon here on the Cloud Sports Network. On the next pitch. Swung on and bounced to the shortstop. Comes to third base for the out, and that ends the inning. Is that the third out? The second out of the inning.
So it's 2 down and 1 in, and that's going to get Canasales to first. And that was Aguilar on the fielder's choice at third, and Petchke is at second.
And the first pitch to him is grounded up the middle and on into center field for a hit. Runner comes around third. She will score.
And that was Paulina Romero scoring. She was the second hitter. She was safe on the fielder's choice that got Donovan, I believe. So we'll check all this with you and with the umpire at the end of the half inning.
Jose Villarreal will be the batter. His team leads 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. Sunset Park Field number 12. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. Fly ball hit out in the right center field. The ball gets down and goes all the way to the fence. One run will score. We have another man rounding third. Batter into third base with a triple and 2-run score.
So that is Canasales, the number 5 batter, and Bailing, the number 6 batter, coming in to score those runs. And Villarreal now on third.
Eddie Pedroza now. 2 out in the inning, and I have 4 scored. First pitch is a strike call. Brandon Spencer from Atlanta is the umpire for this game today. And this next pitch, swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. And they'll verify with both benches. that 4 runs did score in the top of the first inning. So the early lead for the Arizona Serpents, who lead their counterparts from Phoenix, the Phoenix Gamegos, by the score of 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the first here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And as we go to the bottom of the first and the teams change it over, we're going to tell you about one of our sponsors, and that is Fruit Hoops. The hottest new sports podcast is not the Kelsey Boys. It's from Scott and Ty, two gay best friends who love sports as much as they love men. Join them as they talk about all things sports from a very different perspective on their podcast, Fruit Hoops. You can check that out wherever you get your podcasts, but we have a special treat for you right now. We have Scott and Ty here in the booth, and we're going to talk to them for a little bit while we show you some of the coverage of this game as it goes into the bottom of the second. So, welcome to the Cloud Sports Network, Scott and Ty.
Hi. Hi, thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
We are thrilled to have you here. It's very exciting to have you. I know you've been part of the Sin City this year. So tell us a little bit about how you started your podcast.
I came up with this idea a couple of years ago, and I couldn't really hone it in just yet. And Ty and I started becoming really close friends, I'd say around 2019.
Yeah, we started playing basketball together.
And I just, it kind of hit me when my husband was like, you should have Ty do it. Like, he's one of your best friends. He's really funny. And I was like, yeah. So I proposed the idea to Ty.
I feel like sometimes I could be entertaining, so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. It'll be fun. It's going to be entertaining. We can talk about men. We can talk about sports. And just have some fun with it.
That's great. How long have you been doing this?
Just recently, September. You've been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Yeah. Like I said, the idea was a few years ago I had it, but him and I together, 5 months.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
just recently, yeah.
And it's called Fruit Hoops, and you're in a Lakers jersey or a Lakers sweater here, but you cover a lot more than basketball.
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. We just talk about like any sports topics that are going, like especially right now, like women's basketball is like a huge thing. We're doing that, tennis, football. We talk about everything. It's fun.
Well,
any sport that has a hot man in it, we're gonna talk about it.
Anything from like big headlines to like athletes' fashion, like Nikes or shoe lines, gossip, maybe if someone's cheating on who, or maybe an athlete's with a Kardashian, Taylor Swift, anything that's pop culture within sports.
Yeah, we're gonna see who just watched football for Taylor Swift now.
Okay. I think plenty of people doing that right now.
A lot of people doing that.
So your most recent episode, I think the one I was listening to, was about hot NFL coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And who came out on top?
Usually I'm on top.
For me, I think it was Matt LaFleur. Yeah.
Matt LaFleur was for me too, but Sean McVay is a close second.
Yeah. Very, very, very close second. Just inches second.
Okay. I am absolutely with you on Matt
about you?
LaFleur. I am always impressed. Looking good smile. The hair, the fade is always on point every
Always.
week somehow.
Yeah.
But I think I was going to go with your number 3 or 4. I think D'Amico Ryan is my next favorite for
D'Amico
sure.
Ryan is a very attractive man, and congratulations to what he's doing too.
He's a sleeper, and I think it's because he's newer, so you're not thinking of him right away. But when we were looking him up, I was like, he is just sexy.
Fine.
He is just sexy. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree.
And so if you want the whole rundown, you can listen to that podcast. And if you're listening to us on Facebook or on YouTube, feel free to put in your choices for the hottest NFL coaches.
Yes, we would love to hear what you guys have to say.
How about players?
Oh God, I can go down the list on this one.
Give me Baby Burrow. Baby Joey Daddy Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
I'm gonna always stick with the controversial choice and say Nick Bosa.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, sticking with the
Very,
controversy,
very
and we're back to
controversial
the Jenners, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with Nick Bosa for sure.
Yeah, for me, Penn State fan, so I gotta go with Saquon Barkley.
Oh.
I think just got to be one of the most beautiful men in football.
And how could you go wrong with those legs?
We like legs, we like thighs, but he's just gorgeous, right?
And he's a great running back.
It's a great
He
running
stays
back.
healthy.
Interesting to see where he will end up next year, whether he's
Philly.
back with the Giants. My broadcast partner, Rich, saying Philly, and I've also heard some possibilities about trying to get him with the Eagles. That was something that came up on, I don't know, ESPN or Deadspin or something like that.
Okay.
You two are both athletes as well, right? You're not just behind the booth or in the podcast booth.
We get out there and play a little bit.
And so what have you all played here at the Sin City Classic?
This weekend, I actually played tennis. I usually play basketball, but I'm playing tennis this weekend. I picked up tennis recently, and I'm loving the sport and having a good time with it.
Yeah, we usually do basketball. I've done volleyball here a few times, but I don't play volleyball anymore because now I'm playing pickleball. So I did pickleball this weekend. But good thing they don't have basketball because last time we were here for basketball, my team beat Ty's team. So
Okay.
It is true.
But you were able to get over that and get back in and record. Not,
guess so.
not over it yet, huh?
Getting there. My team won in Mexico, so it's fine. They beat them, so
Yeah.
well, I wasn't there.
redeemed.
So, but we weren't there. Things are different when Ty and I are there. It's fun
That's
though.
true.
We're best friends on and off the court too.
Yeah.
So where do you think is the most fashion in sports? You mentioned fashion. Of course, I think a lot of your listeners are into it for those kinds of things as well. Basketball still the best. Football, football over the top
I
sometimes.
feel like football's kind of taking the lead on fashion right now. Their outfits are a little bit better than Russell Westbrook's.
Girl,
No.
no. Basketball, all of them have style from the best players to the 12th man. So I'm just saying, like they have Shea, who's literally walking runway shows for New York Fashion Week. Yeah. So I still say basketball, but football's up there. I just don't know if you could be a stylist wearing some Oakleys like Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how much style's in those sunglasses.
Nah, it's Allstate. You in good hands.
All right. What about hockey? Into hockey? Anything? No? Hockey, the one that kind of escapes?
So hockey is the one for me that I don't know much about. I mean, there are some beautiful men. I should probably touch up on it. But the only thing I know about hockey is the guy that died.
We actually just talked about it, how we were talking about the headline about Connor Bedard, about his
Yeah.
mom who supposedly hooked up with a teammate, maybe, whatever. But we were talking about how we actually don't know anything about hockey. We've been wanting to go to a hockey game because we hear they're amazing and it's really fun live.
I will
So
say the guy that hooked up with Connor Bedard's mom is fine. If I was her, I would have did it too. You know what, son? I got to take this one. I'm taking it for the team, literally.
So you cover all the associated things going on with sports.
Yeah.
What do you think of the softball so far today?
Softball's looking pretty good. It makes me miss it. It makes me want to get back out here.
So who did you play with?
Long Beach Pegasus.
Long Beach Pegasus.
Yeah.
All right, and you, Scott, have not played softball yet, but we're going to drag you in, right?
you know what? You are. Like, I've always wanted to play baseball in some sort, and just actually now seeing it live, it looks amazing. It looks a lot more fun. I thought it'd be a little bit slower, to be honest, because baseball can be a slower sport, but it's actually a lot more fast-paced than I expected.
What division is this?
This is the D2 division.
Oh, this
So
is
this
the
is the lower half of the D division. That's what we're going to be watching for the rest of the game,
That
for
is
the rest of our
D2.
coverage today. Yep.
These
D2,
guys are good.
And this guy hit a triple. Oh my gosh.
Some people will tell you that D is the new C.
Um,
Use the D.
Before we go, have any teasers on an upcoming podcast or any topics that you know are coming up soon that people should be listening for?
You tell them, Scott.
Yeah, so we are definitely gonna talk about some of these ugly tattoos that people have been getting in the NBA. John Morant got a him tattoo on his hand, and I don't understand, is he sponsored by Hims? Because all he needs is an S, and that's what it looks like. Zion Williamson has some new tattoo on his
Listen,
chest.
maybe he's like whacking in the bed. He need that Viagra or the ED medication.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being part of Sin City Classic. Thank you for being part of the Cloud Sports Network broadcast. Again, the podcast with Scott and Ty is called Fruit Hoops. You can get that anywhere that you get your podcasts. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want to listen to information about sports, about men, about fashion, and about tattoos, check out Fruit Hoops wherever you get those podcasts. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us on.
Good?
Yeah.
Which one of you wants to do some play-by-play?
Oh god.
The
So-
chair is open.
We're swapping mics in, and Rich is going to get in here, and hopefully Rich will be able to update us a little bit on the action while we were doing those interviews. Lots of fun there with the with Scott and Ty from Fruit Hoops.
So the first batter in the second inning, Hollison, reached on an error. He's now at second base as Barrera walked, and it's runners at first and second with nobody out. And Benavente will be the batter, and the first pitch is a ball. In the bottom of the first, in the top of the second, two runners got on for the Serpents, but they did not score. All right, here's the next pitch. The swing and a fly ball on the infield. Second baseman ranges back, almost lost the ball in the sun, but was able to recover and make the catch. Throw comes into third base, so no advancement by either runner, and that's out number one here
in the second inning.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. Thank you.
All right, we were treated to a wonderful,
Thank
I
you.
know, early podcast for them, perhaps, for us. Nice men, nice guys. I look forward to listening to their next podcast when they talk all about what we did, what you did.
What I did.
This is Ibarra, the batter, with runners at first and second and one out. There's a swing and a base hit into right field. Right fielder was playing shallow, comes up with the ball quickly, so nobody scores on that. We'll have the bases loaded and one out. The Game Egos trail in this game 4-0, but they have the bases loaded, and Sedona Willow will be the batter. And the first pitch is a ball. There's a swing and a bouncing ball over the pitcher's glove. It goes to the shortstop. He makes the putout at second base. It'll be 6 unassisted, but a run does score as Collison comes across the plate, and that's the first run of the ball game for the Gamegos. Second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Benedente. Think. Okay, here's the next one. Swing and a miss.
Tried to tomahawk that one.
He did. And that's the strikeout. That is the third out of the inning on a strikeout. One run does score, though, for the Gamegos here in the bottom of the second. And we go to the top of the third. Our new score is the Arizona Serpents 4 and the Phoenix Gamegos 1 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we will take a minute here to talk about the Naga Cup. The 2024 Naga Cup will be held in Houston, Texas, April 19th through the 21st. Already more than 35 teams have registered in A and B, and for the second straight year, Legends C and D teams have been invited. Cloud Sports will be there to broadcast, so follow Naga Cup on Facebook for more information. And as some of you may know, Naga has recently changed most of their name and branding to International Pride Softball. However, the Naga Cup is going to keep that Naga branding and be the Naga Cup going into the future here. And this is, I believe, the second, as pointed out there, the second year Legends will be there. Used to be Masters. We're calling it Legends now, another important name change.
Carlos Aguiar leads off in the third inning, and he goes after the first pitch and hits one to right field. It's down the line, and it is foul. A catch is made in foul territory, and that's the first out in the third inning. Here's Petchke, the EH, singled and scored in the 4-run first inning. And the first pitch to him is swung on and hit right back to the pitcher, who jumped to make the catch, fell down, held on to the ball, and on 2 pitches we have 2 out. That's the reason they wear the mask.
That's the reason you and I both say in most of our broadcasts that the pitchers should be wearing masks, Rich. And we didn't quite get to do the rules catch-up we usually do. So one of the things to note is that is a legal hit. It's not an out just to hit it up the middle in this league. So fine play by the pitcher there.
All right, here's the third pitch of the inning, and it is grounded past the third baseman's glove and on into left field for a base hit by Canicelis. And a 2-out base runner for Kyle Beeling, the right fielder. He also scored his team's 4th run in that first inning. His team leads 4-1. And here is the first pitch. It's illegal, says Brandon Spencer. That means it was a little higher than the 12 feet it's allowed to be. And the 2-ball, 1-strike count. Swung on and lined up the middle and into center field for a hit. Runner takes the turn at second, on his way to third. There will be no play. And it's first and third with 2 out. We've had 5 pitches this inning. 2 outs, a base hit, a pitch illegal, and then that base hit.
And the 2 outs were hard hit balls, one right at the pitcher and one deep into right field, just foul and caught.
Here is Jose Villarreal. Swung on the first pitch and lined into center field, and that ball's going to get down and go all the way to the fence. 1 run has scored. They'll send the other man running from third. He will score easily. The throw into second base is late, and it's a double. Bailing and Canisalis both scored on that double, and that extends the lead for the Serpents to 6-1.
And that brings up Pedroza, who ended that 4-run first inning with a strikeout.
Pedroza has a runner in scoring position and 2 out. The first pitch is, I think, a strike. Yes.
So Phoenix Gamigos, Arizona Serpents, obviously both from Arizona area.
Pitch is a ball.
And my understanding from our production and data gathering team is that these teams are coached by different twin brothers.
That's got to be a first. The Villarreals. Thank you. Thank you, Roman. There's a solid line drive in the left field for a base hit. And the ball gets by the left fielder and goes all the way to the fence. That will allow Villarreal to score and Pedroza into second.
And I have to agree a little bit with our Fruit Hoops folks who thought this was an impressive level for D2. The way they are hitting these balls. This is some serious softball here in the D2 division.
Henry Gonzalez will be the batter. He singled in his first at bat. Here is the first pitch to him. Low for a ball. It's a great interview you did. Nice work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I didn't know where you were going when you asked about that. Well, hold on. I'll ask you this after this inning. So, throw to first is late, and it gets by the first baseman, and that will allow the next run to come in. That's Eddie Pedroza scoring the 4th run of the inning, and it is now 8-1.
Pedroza saw that throw go into first and just never stopped.
Okay, so how did you get on the subject of coaches? Were they talking about the best dressed coach, the sexiest coach? What was it?
So in their most recent episode, if you go to your podcast platform, they sort of did a rundown of the hottest NFL coaches as they saw it.
That is a line drive into left center field. It gets down and rolls a little bit to the warning track. 1 run will score. The play at third base is not in time, and it's a triple for Marcos Leal. Henry Gonzalez scored the 5th run of the inning. It'll go as a triple, and Sidney Guzman will be the batter.
So as you heard, we all agreed on Matt LaFleur. Talk about Sean McVay, but they have 4 or 5 other ones that they got in there. The Detroit Lions coach was discussed at some length. Dan Campbell was discussed. And then a little bit about who else made it on there?
D'Amico Ryans, I think.
D'Amico Ryans, we talked about a little bit. Kyle Shanahan was a topic of discussion as a young and attractive coach.
Slow roller on the infield. Pitcher fields his position well, and Marcos Leal came to pay us a visit. He climbed the fence. Anyway, the putout goes 1-3, and that ends the 3rd inning. However, 5 runs come across the plate here in the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and our new scorer is the Arizona Serpents 9 and the Phoenix Gamigos 1 on the Cloud Sports Network. The leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 3rd will be Torres. Number 24 hits a roll over third. It's off the third baseman's glove. Karam's just a few feet away from him. The shortstop comes over to get the ball. but it is leadoff man on here in the bottom of the third. Torres reaches on the error. There'll be a courtesy runner at first base. The batter is going to be the catcher, Hatfield. And here is the first pitch, and that is a ball. It was a called strike. Thank you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and hit out into left field. The ball drops in for a single. Runners at first and second, and nobody out here in the third. We now know which way we're facing here because the sun is almost directly overhead, and that is going to require a nice liberal application of some sunscreen. The batter is Irwin. He is the pitcher, and he takes the first pitch illegal for a ball. And the next pitch is a ball.
And a problem some can, I'm sure, sympathize with. As I put on my sunscreen and made sure I covered my ears, I popped out my earrings. So I'm working on that now, too.
And that pitch is missed for a ball, and it's ball 4. So the bases are loaded, and if you're going to get a rally started, you get the first 3 on. That's a good sign. So we go back to the top of the order, and Villarreal, the batter. First pitch misses for a ball. At play here in the bottom of the 3rd inning of a 9-1 game. Amigos trail by 8, and that next pitch is a strike. 2-2. There is a line drive over the shortstop's glove and on into left center field for a hit. 1 run scores. They'll hold the other runner at third. Ball comes into the catcher, but it's another run as Torres scores. Hatfield to third, Irwin to second, and on at first base is Villarreal, and the batter will be Benham. And here is the first pitch to him. That's very short for a ball. There's a swing and a fly ball hit out into right field. The catch is made. Runners at second and third will tag. They throw home, but the throw is off the base. A run does score. It's 9-3. Irwin took third, the runner at first. Villarreal held. Benham is out on the fly ball. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Meza. Left-handed batter, where's number 4? And Meza waits for the first pitch. And it is delivered. And he grounds one up the middle and on into center field for a hit. The ball gets by the center field, the left center fielder, picked up by the right center fielder, and that allows both runners to move up to second and third. Villarreal at third, Meza at second, and it's a single and an error on the left center fielder, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Colson, who can do some more damage.
Colson, the cleanup hitter, already 3 in the inning with only 1 down.
There's a bouncing ball to the shortstop, bobbles it, and he has no play, and the runner from third scores.
And Rich, a couple of times in these broadcasts, we've talked about the idea that sometimes the runners are taken second and third, and what it does, even though it's risky, is break up the double play. If he had shortstop had a play at second, he might have been able to make it. So probably a big play that Villarreal got, or that Meza got to second on that.
And he held second on that ground ball to did not get to third. Here is Barrera, and Barrera walked in his first at bat in the second inning. 4 runs have come across the plate here in the third, and Barrera takes a ball.
And for those of us watching the game, we want to know who you are rooting for. Let us know in the Facebook feed who are you rooting for, whether that's a friend, a family member, their name, or the team that you're excited about. We want this to be participatory. We'd love to hear from you and let us know who you're hoping for and anything else. Let us know that they're your family member, that you're watching. We can let them know that you're watching on the broadcast.
Barrera draws a 2-out walk. There'll be a new pitcher now for the Serpents. And as soon as he turns around and I see his number, I can tell you who it is. Benavente will be the batter. And the first pitch is over for a strike. Have to wait a little bit on Brandon Spencer. He's very deliberate with his called strikes. There's a fly ball hit into shallow center field. Coming on is the left center fielder, and he makes the catch. It's a sacrifice fly. There was one out. There was a sacrifice fly. Meza comes in to score the 5th run in the inning.
Hard to see out there from here. Looked like the outfielder went down to get that ball, but they did get it, and Spencer called the out. So now 2 down.
This is Ibarra, the second baseman. And the first pitch to him. Swung on and popped up. It is on the infield. 2 out in the inning. The catch is made by the shortstop, and that ends the inning. But a good inning for the Gamegos. They score 5 times in this inning. And at the end of 3, our new score is the Arizona Serpents 9, the Phoenix Gamegos 6 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And Rich, it looks like that was number 1 Carlos Aguilar, who came in from first base to be the new pitcher. So he was able to come in and shut him down.
We go to the 4th inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Serpents. Donovan, Romero, and Aguilar. Friends off the field, but right now, 2 teams from the Arizona area. Doing battle here in Las Vegas. The third of these 3 days has given us our best weather so far. All right, the first pitch is a strike called.
Yes, I am not complaining at all that we had to put on sunscreen, Rich. This is warm and nice today, a little more so than yesterday.
The next pitch to the leadoff batter, Michael Donovan, is grounded to the right side and on into right field for a base hit. Now the ball gets by, coming back into the infield. Donovan to second, now Donovan to third, and he's safe.
Well, that started with the ball taking an awful hop over there, going past the second base person. They looked like they were lined up, and it almost got a glove on it anyway, but just kind of bounced high in the air and went through, and then Donovan just kept on running.
So that'll bring up Paulina Romero. She is grounded to short and fly to right center. And she swings and she hits a ground ball to the right side, bobbled by the first baseman, and it has no play, and a run scores. Ball was easily hit to the first baseman. First baseman for this team is Collison, but he bobbled it, and that gave Paulina Romero time to race down to first base for Carlos Aguilar. Run scored in the inning. There's nobody out and 1 runner on. First pitch is a ball. And the next one is swung on and lifted in the air to the shortstop, and the easy out there on the pop-up, and that's out number 1 here in the 4th inning. Shortstop is Barrera, number 27. That'll bring up to the plate Petschke, Keenan Petschke, who has singled and scored, and he lined out to the pitcher in his last at-bat. Runner at first now with one out, and the pitch is swung on. That is a pop-up on the infield, and the second baseman calls and makes the catch. And so that's out number 2, and we'll bring up Marcel Kemiselis.
Petsky listed as the extra hitter. You can bat up to 12. It looks like the Serpents are batting 11, so everybody who's playing the field and one extra hitter.
And here is the first pitch to him. Swung on and grounded to third, fielded nicely by the third baseman on the second, and they get the force out on Romero, and that ends the inning. Another run does score, though, for the Serpents, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. Our score is now the Serpents 10 and the Gamegos 6 on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we are excited to tell you about another sponsor. That is the USGSN. That is the United States Gay Sports Network, and they invite you to come out and play. USGSN is America's largest LGBTQ plus sports directory that highlights every league and tournament in the country. If you want to find a league or tournament by and for the LGBTQ plus community and its allies, then head over to USGSN.com. The network currently features over 800 LGBTQ plus leagues, 45 different sports in 42 states and 85 cities. Visit USGSN.com and follow them on all your favorite social media platforms with the tag @USGSN.
Sedona will lead off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Goes after the first one, lines one off the pitcher's glove, fielded by the second baseman, plays to first. He's out.
So that one's going to go 1-4-3. The pitcher, who is number 1, did get a hand on that ball, and that's what ricocheted over to the second baseman. Otherwise, that's probably up the middle for a base hit.
Here is David Benavente. He was a strikeout victim in the second inning, and he swings and hits a ground ball to the third baseman. Up and over to first. Nice throw. Very strong throw, too. 2 pitches and 2 outs, or is he safe? I guess he's out.
Yes, he is coming back. It looks like he was called out. I can understand oftentimes on a throw like that, you think maybe the first base person's foot came off the bag, but with that stretch and split, which I hope he is okay from, Rich, play was made there.
Here is Torres. 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the fourth. And there is a line drive in the left field, and that ball is in for a base hit. The catcher, Hatfield, will be next. There'll be a courtesy runner at first base. Sedona Willia will be the courtesy runner.
And when we brought you D plus division yesterday, that was from the women's plus section. This is the open section. So as you can see, we have cis men, cis women, trans men and women, and non-binary and agender people all welcome in this division.
Hatfield's ground ball hit the third base bag and took a hop into left field, so it'll go as a single, putting runners at first and second. The last batter in the order is Irwin. Irwin walked and scored in that second inning, or rather in the third inning. First pitch is a ball.
And the idea that this is D2, D is about the ratings that International Pride Softball and its affiliate leagues use, associate leagues use. And that means that based on their system, none of these players can be individually above a 12, and the team has to have a total rating of their top 10 players 110 or less.
The next one swung on and popped up on the infield. Pitcher is making the call and the catch, and the inning is over. No runs came across, 2 were left, and we go to the top of the fifth. And our score remains the Serpents 10 and the Gamegos 6 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And one last thing to say again is that D2, there's a D1 and a D2. So actually these D teams are in the lower half of the team ratings of all the D teams that are here at the tournament. D1, I believe, is playing somewhere else at these fields. We've had the D2 and the C2.
Right. Doesn't seem to be as noisy. And as a matter of fact, I don't see any action going on in the field to our left. And there is a game going on the field behind us.
So I
figured
can
there'd be more people here by now.
I can tell you that the game that was finishing to our left as our game was finishing was the final game in the winner's bracket to determine who went to the championship.
Okay.
The winner of that game was going to go undefeated into the championship out of the winner's bracket. The loser was going to go down and play in the loser's bracket final and then have the chance to come back up. So they are probably in that semi or final game right now.
All right. Kyle Billing leads off and hits one into right field. In for a hit. Right fielder playing very shallow. Gets the ball back in nicely, and a leadoff base runner for the Serpents, who lead 10-6 over the Gamigos, and the batter will be Jose Villarreal, who has singled. He has also doubled and scored a run. And here's the first pitch. Swinging a ground ball in the hole between third and short, on into left field for a base hit. It'll be first and second, nobody out for Eddie Pedrosa, who has struck out, and he has singled, scored a run. Swung on and hit into left field. That ball's got some carry, and that ball is down. It's going to go all the way to the track. One run is in. Feeling scores. Here comes Villarreal around third. He will score. The throw comes in the third. It'll be a double for Eddie Pedrosa, and 2 runs have come across for the Serpents. A solid double. Henry Gonzalez will be the batter. And the first pitch to him. Swung on and bounced to the shortstop. Backhands it, and the ball goes underneath his glove and onto the left field for a hit. Here comes Eddie Pedrosa around third. The throw comes into the shortstop, gets past him, but it's backed up by the pitcher. So no further advancement by Gonzalez, but it's an RBI single. Third run in the inning. It's now 13-6. Marco Leal, the batter, goes after the first one and lines one into left field for a base hit. Gonzalez held at second base. (13-6). And runners at first and second. Here is Sidney Guzman. Or Sid. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher. He turns and he goes to third and gets the lead runner out. So that is the first out of the inning. The putout goes 1-5. On the play, Leal to second, and on the fielder's choice, Guzman is safe at first. And we go back to the top of the order, and Michael Donovan doubled and scored, popped to the shortstop, singled and scored. Swung on and lined up the middle and on into center field for a base hit. Right center fielder cuts the ball off. A run will score, however, as Leal crosses the plate for the 4th run of the inning.
And Guzman holding second after that.
So a 3-for-4 afternoon working so far for Donovan, and the batter will be Paulina Romero. And she goes after the first pitch. She lines one off the pitcher's glove. Pitcher recovers, tries to throw to first base. It's an overthrow. Ball in foul territory. 1 run will score as Sidney Guzman crosses the plate. It is a 5-run inning. Michael Donovan all the way to third, and Romero held first.
Pitcher made a great play just to get a glove on that ball and keep it on the infield, but just couldn't get really any direction on the throw. Kind of rolled and threw it, just hoping to get it to first base.
Carlos Aguiar, the batter, with a runner at third. And a runner at first. And the pitch is deep for a ball. Aguiar has singled, hit a fly foul to right, and popped to the shortstop. he has a runner in scoring position, and that's a significant run because if he does score, then it's a 10-run lead in the 5th inning. That pitch is a strike. Aguiar waits for the pitch. Here it is. Goes after it and hits one to the shortstop. Shortstop takes on second for one, on to first. Not in time. So the lead has grown to 10 here in the 5th inning.
And as you say, Rich, with a 10-run lead, that is what you need for a run rule in the 5th inning in these games. However, the Gamegos, being the home team, will still get their at-bats no matter what happens. But should they not score, even if time doesn't expire, the game would be over as long as the Serpents are up by 10 or more.
Keenan Pesci, the batter. Here's a strike called. He has singled and scored, line to the pitcher and popped to the second baseman. He swings and grounds one to the shortstop. The shortstop will flip to the second baseman, and that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-run score in the top of the 5th. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, our new score is the Arizona Serpents 16 and the Phoenix Gamegos 6 on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we'll listen here to see if the Blue talks about how much time is left. I don't think we've heard the beeper go off. So, again, the Gamegos need at least one to get another inning if there's still time on the clock.
And they will bat at the top of the order, Villarreal, Benham, and Meza here on the bottom of the 5th inning. He must not be as concerned about the time as he maybe should be because he hasn't gone back to check it. I saw one of the Gamegos players come over to check the time.
The Serpents here checking the score. There was a discussion of whether it was 15 or 16. The Blue did say that he had 16.
It's good that they do that. All right, bottom of the 5th, and the leadoff batter will be the left center fielder, Villarreal. And the first pitch to Tony Villarreal is outside for a ball. It's 2-1. And a strike call. Strike call. It's 2-2. Next one. Swung on and grounded in the hole between third and short. On into left field for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th. The shortstop, Benham, will be the batter. Brandon Spencer dusts off the plate so that the pitcher has a better view of it.
For those who are watching our coverage, Brandon Spencer, an umpire, the son of longtime umpire Kathy Spencer, who covered some of our games yesterday.
Swung on and popped foul, and it hits our roof.
Okay, that one was definitely coming at me, Rich. I don't know what I said, but...
Here's the 1-2 count pitch, and that pitch is inside and low for a ball. Ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have another D2 game following this, another one following that, and then, if everything works the way we think it will, we'll be in the championship game, slated to start at 5 o'clock, or 4 o'clock rather. There's a fly ball hit out into right field, and right center fielder comes in. Caught the ball, then dropped it, and it will be first and second. Meza to the plate now. He is fouled out, so that was a strikeout. He has singled and he has scored, and he is the left-handed batter, or a left-handed batter. First pitch is swung on, and a pop-up into shallow center field. Left center fielder, right center fielder come over, but the ball drops for a hit. The bases are loaded. I don't think that the ball was lost in the sun, but I could certainly make a case for it. The batter is going to be Collison, the first baseman. He's reached on an error twice.
And in this D2 division, you are not allowed to hit a home run. That's going to be an out. So unless it's inside the park, there's no grand slam here like you might have seen in our C division coverage.
And the first pitch is a strike call. next one. Swung on and bounced to the shortstop. Bobbles it. It goes to the second baseman. And did he get there in time? No, he did not. Brandon Spencer says he is safe. A run to score as Villarreal crosses the plate. It'll go as a fielder's choice and no out made.
So the shortstop sort of ricocheted the ball over towards second. The second base person able to pick it up had to touch the bag, and in Spencer's judgment, they did not get to the bag before the runner was able to get to the bag. So everybody's safe and a run is in.
And there is a courtesy runner. It's Irwin running at first base for Collison. The batter is going to be Barrera, the shortstop.
We'd love to tell you who the next game is going to be in our fields, but because we're in bracket play, it depends who wins on this field and other fields. So as soon as we have that information, we will let you know.
So the run rule for this inning has been taken out of play as the deficit has come inside of 10. It's now at 9. The score is 16-7. And the bases are still loaded with nobody out. And the next pitch is a pitch inside. And here is the next delivery. And a swing and a miss. We've seen a few of those today, too. So it's a strikeout. One out, one in, 3 on. There's a fly ball hit out into right field. It's going to go foul. Benavente behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. As Benavente tries to cut into this deficit, she hits a very soft pop-up on the infield. The ball drops. First baseman flips to the third. The pitcher flips to the first baseman, but the ball gets by the first baseman, and 2 runs have come across. Benham scored, and Meza scored. On the play, Collison to third. Benavente held at first on a throwing error, and that'll bring up Ibarra. And the first pitch is a strike call. So it's 16-9. There's a swing and a line drive off over the second baseman's glove and into right center field for a hit. The 4th run of the inning scores. There's a runner at first base. And there is a fly ball hit out to the right center field. The catch is made. Both runners remain where they are.
And I still don't think we've heard the timer go off, Rich. So the game goes with a decision here with 2 down. Do they think they can tie this game up or get ahead in this inning by keeping going, or do they want to try to get out of this inning and get 1 more?
There's a little gamesmanship going on right now with the first baseman chatting with the pitcher.
Think that has something to do with the clock, Rich?
I believe it might just happen to be that way. And the first pitch is grounded to the third baseman, who steps on the bag, and David Benavente is out on the fielder's choice. I have 4 runs having crossed the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. And I believe that is the end. That is the ball game.
That is the ball game.
Final score will be 16-10. The Arizona Serpents advance. The Phoenix Gamegos are done for the tournament. We congratulate them on their run through this division and wish them safe travels back to Arizona. We have another game coming up for you, likely involving these same Serpents. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. As soon as we know who they're playing, we'll get that game started too, hopefully within the next, 5 to 10 minutes. So for Joel Tremblay, I'm Rich Siegel. Thank you for being with us. You're listening to Sin City Classic Softball here on the Gay Cloud Sports Network.